that's part of like early on stuff I had to learn. Like you want to get all the deals and all that stuff. You know, it's cool. It's like podcasting wise, but it ain't really all what it's cracked up to be.
Have you ever had sponsorship before?
Nah, I didn't feel like I was big enough. Like my name and my brand wasn't big enough, so I didn't like outsource and try. But then I was like, at this point, if I'm not trying, then what am I doing? No matter what the numbers is, my engagement's there. You know, bump it.
But I feel like at any level, you know, if you can shoot for something like sponsorships and partnerships, that's a part of the game, like the business game. So I just look at it like if you get a sponsor, maybe it just depends on what you're looking to get out of that sponsor. You know, maybe you looking to get like some more viewership or something like that. Just whatever you negotiate, that's part of the game.
That's true. Have y'all thought about that yet? As far as like influencers and all that stuff?
So not necessarily influencers, but definitely like things that we're interested in. I'm a huge like podcast head, so podcasts, and then we also have a little thing that we're trying to work on right now to where we can sponsor it, but that's going to be something soon. But more like if it aligns with what we're doing, definitely down to sponsor it. But if it's anything outside of like if it doesn't match kind of where the brand's going, then it doesn't really make much sense for us.
I feel it. So tell me, where did Wise Mind Movement start from? Because I've known about y'all for a little bit, but I know it's been longer that you guys started. I know you came on a little bit ago. You don't mind giving me the backstory of it?
It was originally supposed to be a nonprofit. I went to school here at Methodist.
Okay.
And just some situations had happened around the holidays to where I was like, there's just one instance I remember going to the cookout down there on Ramsey, and I was in the car with some other kids from the school too, and some things was said about like this homeless guy that's right there at the light. There's like a little median piece, and I know I felt different than what it was a joke to these people, but to me it was a little more serious. And so I was like, man, at that point I was like, I've always been like a helpful person, but I wanted to create something that was helpful and impactful. So at first I thought I wanted to do a nonprofit. When I started getting into it, I realized like I want this to connect with kids. I want community service to seem like a cool thing. And so that's where I brought in like how can I connect with the younger generation, and then that was closed. And once I started getting into branding, and because I wasn't like super into brands or anything fashion related before that, but once I started getting into it, I was like, okay, like this is like, I love this. Like I love what I'm doing. Like I want to actually like live off this. I want to create a whole experience. I want to take it further than just a nonprofit. Like we still do a lot of community stuff within it, but that's where it kind of all came from, was just realizing like mistreatment and wanting to do better and just wanting to be a positive influence in a sense.
Are you from here? Like,
so I was born in Virginia. After 4 years there, I moved to Japan. I lived down in Japan for about 5-6 years, and then I moved here to North Carolina. I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina for about 8 years, and then I moved out here for about 6.
Okay, you still can claim it. You've been here long enough.
So.
Collyn, what about you?
No.
You not from?
Nah. I moved here in the 4th grade though.
You from here?
So
you from?
Yeah.
You from
but
here.
I mean, you know how people be like, it's a big thing now, like show your birth certificate.
Yeah, but if you honestly want to go down the list, everybody that's big from here is not from here, or they haven't been here. Like they put in the time long enough to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I rep the Ville harder than a lot of dudes do.
100%.
So, and I've been here since 4th, 5th grade.
It's a military town. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like everybody comes from here. Like I came here 1st grade. I wasn't born here. I was born in New York, but I've been here since 1st grade.
But see, like my mom and dad, like neither one of them in the military. We came here on a whole nother situation.
Really?
Yeah. So, but we just been here ever since. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, college. And I'm still here.
That's
crazy. So how did y'all two link up then? Since y'all both not from here, y'all just
I just want to get back on that though. It's like this is I'm from a military family. I got like my dad wasn't like a higher ranking person or nothing, but I have 6 siblings, and so like we moved around a lot. Like no place really like felt like home to me. At the time when I was growing up, there wasn't really no cell phones. That wasn't a thing. There wasn't no social media, so I wasn't able to keep up with any. When I was 4, when I left Virginia, like I don't remember who my friends was. When I was in Japan, don't remember anything either. So it's like, this was like the first place that felt like home. It was the first place that like I was welcomed by everyone that was from here. It's the first place that like I just felt comfortable in. So that's why to me it's like this place is special to me, and it always like just holds a place in that. As far as this Lincoln though, he actually when I first ever did a Ville T-shirt.
What year was it? You don't mind me asking? If you remember?
I want to say it's 2014. No.
Like 15, 16, because I was already at FSU.
It was 2016. 2014 is when the brand became a thing. We put out a Ville T like 2 years later. I was working with a photographer, Sarate, and I was basically like, I need 2 models for this. Like, do you have anyone in mind? Like, if we get a female and a male model. He ends up like putting me on the Collyn. Collyn models our olive green T-shirt that we put out at the time. First Ville T we ever put out. And then from there, I didn't even know he did graphics at the time.
Whole time I was doing graphics.
Yeah. So
that's clutch to have on the team. We're gonna get into that, but
it wasn't until later on. Another friend of ours, Javi, he put me on to Collyn's graphics because I hit him up to do a graphic for us, and then he was like, I can't complete it right now, but I got a homie, he does this, and then it was Collyn. So then we linked up. I believe it was like a holiday flyer or something like that. And then I don't know how'd the hoodie come up. So
the hoodie was already like, that hoodie.
Yeah, we did this hoodie together. This was like our first like collaborative effort, past like the modeling and stuff. And I don't even know how
I had already did like a few like flyers and other materials for Wise Mind prior to that. I want to say it was like a giveaway. You guys was doing the giveaway. It was the Wise Mind tee. You had the black and yellow one. I still got the tee.
Oh yeah, where we did the shoe giveaway at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they was giving away like some like elite shoes, bro. I was hoping I would apply for that.
Yeah, so it's like if you purchase a tee, then you would get a ticket into a sneaker raffle, and then we had like 4 different joints up there that you could choose. Like when you make your purchase, a drop down window comes, and you can select like what shoe you want to put that raffle into.
That's hard.
And so yeah, that's what it was. And then I believe he had told me like he wanted to do a piece, and then we ended up doing this hoodie that I got on right now. And then that was basically like the start
real quick, just so they can,
they
can see you got to rep the brand.
Yeah, so this was the first piece we ever did. The key to this was like we wanted to do something that was North Carolina based or whatever. I always wanted to do like something bright, so it was either going to be like either a neon green or like the camo like neon orange. And then so the colors was all him. I remember he sent it over to me, and I was like, that's one thing I love about working with him is that he'll send me things, and it's like things that like I would think of, but I didn't think of. Like, like he put like the Charlotte Hornets colors in as a state, and like that was one of the things to me.
Even peep that.
That was like super detail oriented. He has, I don't know what kind of car that is.
Well, I got like an old school. I got a Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And so like to me that was always like a fly car, and so I was like, yo, we got to put that in there. And then this red truck right here. First person that ever connected me to anyone in Fayetteville when I first met him, like outside of the campus or whatever, was Mark Mayer, and he was driving this truck around when he first did. When he shot my first ever. He shot my first ever promotional video, and so to me his truck was like super like country based, like North Carolina looking. So we threw that on there, and then obviously like Krispy Kreme originated from here, so did that. But you know. Design wise, it's all Collyn. And then on the back side, it's embroidered like I don't know the exact technical name for it, but when you go to an art exhibit and then it shows like the name of the piece, who the artist, and
like
then,
a little template or whatever. Yeah.
So we got that embroidered on the back side of it, so that way it looks like it's like a piece of art to us.
That's hard as hell. I'm sorry. I know I should be good. That's hard as hell.
It was crazy, and then. On top of that, I don't even know if you mentioned we did the packaging too. When you got the pack, it's this bright orange bag with the design on it. So when you got it in the mail, like you got.
Oh, like this official. This is completely off topic and everything. Since you talking about shipping, how much do y'all pay for shipping, bro? Because I like I did my little hoodies or whatever. Just friends and family shipped them off, bro. Shipping is
Ain't no
Yeah,
joke.
Yo,
people don't understand. Like, I've heard a lot of comments, like, as far as, like, yeah, like, we went to add one of your items to the cart and the shipping came up, and it's like, we charge right now about $12.35 for shipping, which is
That's
super
that's-
generous.
bro.
We used to ship via the postal service.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that for years, but I feel like the customer service is just real lackluster. You can't ever get a hold of someone if a package goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
So that mixed with an experience that I had, because I also like help other brands on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was shipping out packs via FedEx through those companies, and I just like a FedEx employee will call you whenever they can't locate a individual's door or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just like super easy to contact them, so we went with FedEx. But shipping, it's gonna get more expensive. Right now, we do take hits every time we have $12.35 might seem like a lot, but it isn't. I ship everything out of California because that's where the majority of our stuff is made, and most packages, if it's a tee, it'll run like $12 to $13. Anything over that is gonna be about 16 to 27. Depending on what you're looking at.
For real. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, like, a pound, I had sent like 8 of them off.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm just doing it off of strength. Like, I don't try to make too much bread from it. I just try to get over.
Yeah, fact.
And I'm like, yo, all right, $12 for this one, $15 for this one. I'm like, nah, like, I would never do this again.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, one thing me and him been talking about recently, though, is the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a business. So I'm trying to cut costs.
Yeah.
But another thing that keeps us different is we're not handing stuff out the back of our trunk. You know, like, you're going to get the whole experience. You're going to get the quality. When you order offline, you're going to get the customer service that follows up with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I get people blowing up my DM or my message all the time. Like, yo, you got anything on hand? And I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be.
I do got the hats. I ain't gonna lie. I do got some hats on hand.
Yeah.
But it's the whole fact that when you go buy from a higher up brand or you go buy from Nike or something like that, you're gonna wait for shipping. And you're gonna get that customer service. We just trying to follow.
That's exactly why we ship everything. I'm like, to meet up and, like, I don't know, like, my days are typically really busy, like, even before I moved to California. So, like, to be able to do that is it's too much running around, and gas prices looking like shipping prices right now. So, but he hit that on the head. Like, to me, I love the shipping aspect. Like, I love when the finished product is like, it's just like, it's way more than just like a business to me. Like, whenever I got the item and then we fulfilling the order, a lot of times we insert things to help creatives or artists or whatever into our packages. And I love just people receiving their stuff and, like, enjoying it. Like, a lot of the feedback we get on stuff is always like, man, that's just the best part. Like, the shipping and receiving is like, that's why I don't, you know, eventually, like, we're gonna have to alter our shipping. Like, he's right. If we ever want to grow, we're gonna have to cut some of that overhead costs down, which is gonna be like shipping costs and stuff. So.
But that's hard unless you like Amazon, Nike, Adidas. Like, you know, I spend $100 free shipping, but at the same time, it's like, you're growing. First of all, I'm sorry, I'm jumping everywhere, bro. It's a lot I want to talk to y'all about.
That's cool.
But y'all probably are the most professional, not saying by the book, like, you know, in no bad way, but like handling your business, people that I've ever dealt with. And I respect that so much as a boss CEO and as a content creator. Like, a lot of people just think, oh, like, I know him, or this is just a favor, we're going to do this now. Y'all hit me, hey, what's up? I'm so-and-so. Before even that, you built the relationship up.
Fact.
Like, yo, like, hey, and I really don't even care to bring this up. Like, yo, you hit me, hey, I looked at your website. If you don't mind, you could tell me F off or whatever. This. I'm still working on stuff. Don't get me wrong. I know if you peeped it or not. Yeah. But it's like, I don't have that. Yeah. And I know a lot of people don't have that. Like, everybody got a yes man or something like that. So.
No, like.
That's what Jose do, though.
Yeah.
So, like, I think coming from his point of view is he'll give you suggestions, but he really don't. Like, if you ignore him or something like that, that's still cool to him, bro. He's sitting here. He wants you to do better at the end of the day, because, I mean, that's what wise mind do. We hire our friends, you know, like, we tell our friends how we feel about something. At the end of the day, you don't have to listen, But I mean, we only doing this because we feel like, bro, like you got something here.
Yeah.
Let's grow this thing, make this thing pop for real, for real.
No, I feel like
love
that's so exactly what it said. Like 90% of the time, like we're always trying to put the money back into the city. Even though I live across the country, all our photographers, videographers, like anything, models, like we always try to come here first. If it makes sense to do something out there, then we'll do it, obviously. But it's always the first look here. And just whenever I come across things that I see a lot of potential in, or things that I feel like I really believe in someone, what they're doing, and I just feel like they need a little push, or maybe they need a little like critiquing. I don't get hurt if a person's like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, like we're not feeling it or whatever. Like it's okay, I understand, but I'm gonna let you know that I'm paying attention. I like what you're doing. Here's some things that I feel like you can switch up and maybe do a little differently. And if you feel like, like I could really use that, then then it is what it is.
Because a lot of people, they be like, oh, bro, like I'm doing it my way, or they get that pride like Cole said, pride is the devil. Like I try to cut it, ego, pride, I try to cut it to a minimum because I want to grow at the highest potential. I want to be up there with Rogan and Budden and everybody. So I just want to let you know I appreciate that, letting that be known to everybody.
It's not no problem. That's one of the things I'm like the biggest on is just like all I do is sell clothes, bro. Like we don't. Everyone got clothes. Everyone can go shop with other people, but I feel like what makes the brand is like the individuals. So with that being said, it's like I try to strip away the ego, strip away anything. I don't ever be on like, yo, we the hottest, da da da. Like to me, it's just like I just want to tell the stories. I want to connect with the people. I want to support people that are trying to do the same things or similar things. And I feel like that just like takes you a lot longer than like honest. Like don't get me wrong. If you feel like you got a great quality product and you want to express that, do it. Like it's your opinion, it's your life, it's whatever. But how I like to roll is just try to be as like we on the same level all the time. Like no matter what level we reach, I always feel like, can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever you want to say.
I always feel like no matter what level we are, I'm not shit. So I just always feel like I'm just the same person that was living here trying to make it, make ends meet and shit. So
I saw a tweet or a post one time that you said everybody in Wise Mind could run it.
Yeah.
You want to expound on that a little?
Yeah.
What you was feeling in that moment, or what brought you to like put that out?
First of all, that's why I like expressing myself on Twitter, because I feel like that's my diary. If I ever pass away, just go read my Twitter. Like I let anything fly on there. Like that's how I really feel. And so I just felt like if Collyn was to run Wise Mind, like I trust like all angles of it. Like I know like he'll do it justice. I know that he can do everything that I can do, X, Y, Z, if not better. My wife, Ashley, she can do everything. She's a store manager at one of the biggest revenue stores in Southern California, in terms of apparel and sneaker sales. So even if she might not be like in the creative process as much as us, I know that she knows how to run a business and a sales floor. And so anything that I could do, like both of the individuals could do it. And I don't have no problem with ever taking back seats to things. Like, yeah, I'm the guy that created it, but it don't mean shit if the team ain't in it. Like if Collyn got an idea and he want to push like an item or something forward, like I'm all in. Like let's go, let's do whatever you're trying to do. So
that trust is beautiful. I don't think a lot of people know how to that trust to have that.
Kudos to Ash for real though.
Yeah,
she a boss in her own.
Yeah, like
I was in Cali. We was about to shoot some content. I think Jose went to work. Saying I can pull up my Ash. I need this. It's one of those things like we doing this for our brand, but she in a whole different world handling this on a whole different level. You feel me?
Like she doesn't do anything in the creative process as of right now, but like the day that there is a storefront, like I know like run the sales floor. Like I don't even got. We can focus on the creative back end stuff, making sure the brand image is still straight, while she kind of runs things at the shop, and so that's what.
That's the fun part too about it, though, right?
Yeah.
Trying to like figure out, okay, this idea, it might work. I want to try it bad. It might not work, but I'm gonna push it.
Yeah.
Y'all want to speak on any trials and tribulations that you guys have gone through, either through product, through relationships, dealing with people, just figuring out your way, so any other creatives could have some type of
You go first if you want.
figuring out how to work through life. I know I got a lot that I've spoken about the past 2 years, but
As far as trials, man, it's just normal life, life stuff that apply to anything that you do. I done been like doing hella designs for people that I thought it was super fire, you know what I'm saying? And then you send stuff off and that's not it. Same thing with life. Like you can go super hard, at the end of the day, like whoever you trying to like impress or, you know, show off to, and they say this not it. It's you just try again. I mean, that's probably, I don't really have a trials and tribulation story, but just like I just keep going. Other than that, it's like nothing really specific that I can really think of. Just my business just keep flowing. I don't never give up. Probably the hardest working nigga in Fayetteville. I'll be honest with you.
I feel it.
I won't let nobody outwork me. But
And I feel that from everybody on the team. Like everybody's on. And I keep cheesing over here because it's so hard to get everybody on the same picture continuously for a long period of time. And I'm just so glad because I've been watching y'all from afar for so long. I'm just like anytime I see a post, a TikTok or something, I'm just like, yeah, like that make me want to go harder.
yeah.
So I don't know if y'all see that from anybody else, because to me, y'all the top brand that's repping here. Like, no disrespect to nobody else. Like, I mess with everybody, but like from quality to content, like I see the work putting in behind it.
And that's why I signed with Wise Mind, bro. You know, like before I actually signed, we had worked for, like we said, I did the modeling thing. We had worked for years prior to that. But it's the quality. Like if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I know I said this 100 times, but like Jose gonna check up on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it go back in their household too. If he not doing what he's supposed to be doing, Ash gonna check up on him.
And Collyn check up on me.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I know how hard it is to get like same like-minded people working together.
You gotta be driven and have like that dog in you, and at the same time, like still be humble about it. So it's like, we getting after da, but still like humble enough to like lean on the other person if you need them. Like I don't know. I feel like you gotta have a good balance. Like it's good to be driven and have that, but the mesh got to be there. You got to be able to. I feel like I'm a pretty good listener, so I will hear you out, like, and then we can conversate about it, like, without making anything an issue. But
did y'all play any sports?
Yeah.
I know you played baseball. You play any sports?
Basketball, FTS.
Really?
yeah, his jump shot was off though.
Okay.
No. You can look me up.
A little bit. Okay, because the reason I'm asking that is because a lot of guys play sports, or we follow sports and everything, but that team culture, like that's a lot of, like, no disrespect to like no women or nothing like that, but a lot of guys we get the passion, the hunger, the drive from different things
that's
in
where it
life.
came from.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I know that's just something that we all get.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Like I was captain of my baseball team in high school, and it was just like it wasn't even a title like I wanted or was going for. It was just something like I fell into because like how I was leading practices and leading on and off the field, like in between innings kind of thing. I was a catcher, so yeah. And then when I went to Methodist, I didn't play as much.
Outfield?
Catcher.
I mean,
Yeah. Nah, you good.
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, catcher, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but when I went to Methodist, it was like, honestly, it's like a bunch of life things that was going on at the time, and I just kind of fell out of the sport, to be real. And it wasn't what I was used to. I'm used to playing at like a real mixed ethnic school, and when I got there, I just felt like I was out of place. Like I didn't. It was that, and when you fighting for a position, there's 8 of you, and there's someone out there that's like 6'3", 280 pounds, just easily taking them yard. Like you just comes to the realization, like, oh, I was nice, but I I ain't this nice.
Nah, for sure, bro. I'm 5. I be saying I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm really like 5'9.5". Like
Yeah.
I could hoop a little bit. I
You
mean,
know, and Max Prep's gonna lie for you.
oh nah,
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
Bro, plenty of people done lied on. They didn't lie
Oh.
for my little sister. Trust me, I know.
Bruh, I was on Max Press, bro. I was like 6'3", 185. Bro, I ain't never weighed more than 165.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, man, I was captain for the last two, my junior and senior year at Terry Sanford, bro. I just didn't really mess with school, but I mean,
I feel it, trust me.
like I'm a dog in basketball. All my basketball homies would tell you that. Shit, half of Cumberland County would tell you that. But I think like you hit it nail on the head. You learn those disciplines playing sports, and it's kind of like just if you really was into it, it really carried you on in life too. So no, that's true.
So, bro, I be in here raging. I mean, I see the P5 right there. I be in here playing against the homies. Right now, we got a 7-game series going. So last night we 3-3 right now. We do this like my career league type thing on it.
Thanks.
Bro, when y'all leave, it's about to be crazy.
No,
I'm not gonna capture you.
I did not get to tell you, but I appreciate the follow. I was streaming on Twitch one day, and I saw you.
Sure.
Yeah, you popped in there while I was playing. I didn't see it at the time, but it was until like hours later. But yeah, I'll be on the Twitch. I want to get like real serious with it because I feel like we can do all kinds of things on there one day.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
But,
Twitch the wave.
Yeah,
My boy, you gotta talk to DJ.
yeah.
DJ will hook you up. Man.
But
For sure.
I want to get back on the question too of the whole trials and tribulation because I feel like I had so many parts that could help people. I mean everything from like when the brand first started.
Yeah.
I'm talking I was spending rent money on clothes, like getting eviction notices, probably like every other month. But it was like that drive of like, this is what I want to do. This is where my heart is. This is like, I'm not saying you have to go struggle and give up your bill money to make something happen, but like that's just how bad I wanted to do things. And I just got lucky enough to where like leasing office was cool with it, and then I always followed through and communicated. But I was doing things like that. I was doing things like electric bill money. I told a story on another interview before, but it hasn't come out. There was one time my lights got cut off, and it was whenever I did. It's even bad to say this because the piece I put the money to was like not even worth it.
Yeah.
Like it was some trash, but it was
sunglasses.
Nah, it was after the sunglasses. It was Ville Driven T-shirts, and it had 2 stripes on the side of the arms. And it took me forever to get the product. I'm talking like it probably took me like 6 months to get the pieces. So I never even got to recoup the money I put into it right away. It took forever. I think the company was like trying to scam me at one point that was doing it. And then, but yeah, lights got cut off. And I just remember lights got cut back on, and I didn't know like how, like what was going on. It was like I wasn't tight with PwC. Like I didn't know what was going on, but Ashley somehow knew that my lights was off, and she actually like paid my light bill. And that was when I kind of like first. We were like in our first couple years of dating at the time, so that was just like huge. Like I always look back to that moment, and it's like some of the realest things like you could go through. But
so you was just at the crib, and all of a sudden your lights just
my
turned
lights
back
was
on?
yes. I'm pretty sure we was texting around that time, but
Go to the car to charge the phone. It's like,
yeah.
You
I ain't
said
gonna
you
lie.
ain't text me back in a while. Baby, my
But-
phone
Wait,
can't
the fuck you
charge.
out. Almost,
other than
almost
that,
had to clap it up for Ashley right there. That's some real shit.
Other than like those instances, I feel like every day is like trials and tribulation. Like I'm just like any ordinary person. I still work on the side of running the brand, so working 40-hour weeks kind of thing. Feel like that something that people can relate to, like to keep pushing yourself. Like you can't do nothing great by just like doing the bare minimum. If you're not treating that thing that you want to be the job like it's another job, like it's not gonna work. So I feel like that's in itself is like trying to hustle at a job while trying to create your job is like a different set of trial and tribulation, like because it's not made for everybody. It could really like cut you down and break you down.
I feel it because I done had so many fails in my life. Like I done started school before I got to the last semester. I was like, this ain't for me. I done went to the military, got the basic. I ain't get yelled at or nothing. I don't want to do this.
Right.
I done did a whole bunch of other things, relationships and stuff. And it's just like, I don't feel all the way in it.
Mm-hmm.
But once I said, yo, I'm going to start a podcast. Because it was 10 years of studying, watching. And I was just like, yo, nah. Like, y'all not doing this good enough. Granted, I'm still learning. But it was like, once I started and I felt the first time, like that drive and that passion, I was like, nah, this is what I've been missing the past 20-something years.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Like, people don't got to go through things to get to things. But
No.
I feel like it's definitely like a building thing. Like, you definitely learn a lot from it. I feel like you learn a lot about yourself through it. So,
It'll make it worth it, too.
Facts.
When you go through stuff, bro, and
like
you
when
finally do make it, cross that line, it's like, damn.
When we doing things that
Good.
the numbers and stuff that we be putting up now, it's just like everything was worth it. Like,
I still be getting shot looking at them. Like, all right, bro, we about to put this shirt on. I don't know what it's about to do. Like,
Shit, I'll be like, on to the next.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
one of those, like,
Well, you
check it off.
can't be stagnant on things, but you also got to recognize what's booming.
Mhm.
If you're not, streetwear is all about trends. If that item ain't selling, then it's almost like you have to kind of like be real with yourself. Why didn't it sell? What could we done better? Like, was it design X, Y, and Z, or was it,
the marketing?
yeah, the marketing? Like, it was our content not good? Every time we put out pieces, we don't. I feel like that's another thing that we get into. Is just like,
I was gonna get you. You keep
but
going.
when we put out a piece, like, we work on things for so long, and if we was to just put it out and leave it and expect it to do something, I feel like that's just a waste of energy.
Facts.
And so, like, I could say this for like any creative that wants their stuff to live long term. It's like, yo, don't spend weeks, months, years of your life creating something, and then you just put it out a day, and then it's like that. Like, all right.
All that for one drop.
Yeah.
So we always try to follow it up, and our best sales come from when we follow it up for a couple weeks with like marketing material. To you, it might seem redundant because you're the one posting it every day and like talking about it every day. But the person that's online today might have not been online yesterday. Like, everyone's not checking for you every day. So like that's how I look at it. Like, no one's checking for us. So we just got to make sure that we stay on top of it.
And even if they did see it the second time they sold, all right, we'll pump it. Let me just go ahead and buy it.
It's like anything.
I done seen it too many times.
Yeah, exactly. Once you see things like 2-3 times, it might not click that first time, but like eventually it's like, all right, let me go check it out. So I don't know. I believe in like, obviously, like, he's on the creative end, so it's good that he's like looking for the next thing, because that's the thing that we're trying to get on right now is like more consistency, more like quicker drops. Instead of doing like whole collections at points, we're doing more single pieces, between 1 to 3 pieces. So that's dope. Like, I can focus on like what we're doing right now, and then he can already be cooking on like what it is that we might have around the corner. So
Facts. And that's really why I look to the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I know the back end already handled. Like, if he looking at the numbers and, all right, we need to do this and that, I'm already forward thinking because I'm waiting for him to tell me I need the next thing. And so if I'm forward thinking, he tell me I need the next thing, and I already got the next thing, you know what I'm saying? That just helps our process back and forth move smooth.
Because I know by May, June, you're already thinking about hoodies for end of the year.
Facts. Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
that's dope.
I already got like some screenshots, some references, and something in my phone I can show, bro. Like, I think this is something dope we can put out.
That's what's fire too about like the creative point from it is like, I'm not. He could tell me an idea is trash, and I don't take it personal. I'm just like, I'm like, damn, why does he think it's trash? And then I'll think on it for a little bit, and then we could just move forward. Like, it's never no hard feelings. Like, a lot of our stuff comes from just bouncing ideas off each other for a little bit, and then we come to the final thing. And it's like, yo, that's hard. Like, we got to do that.
Yeah, we don't drop. I think the VLT, one of our hardest things, bro, came off of what, 15-minute, not even 15-minute conversation.
I was at work on a lunch break. We got invited to do a pop-up, the pop-up you came to, and we had just announced him like 2 months ago, I think. We announced, or a month and a half ago, just announced him, just put a lot of money into like 4 pieces that we put out, and got invited to the pop-up shop. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to go with stuff that we just put, even though it's sold really good and it's hot and we still got some stuff in. I was like, we gotta like let's re-up on some new stuff. And so
Nice.
we had a quick call, like 10, 15 minutes. He said that we just going back and forth. By the end of it, we got a tee. He shoots me the mocks in like a day or two, and it was like, yo, like gotta do this. Like
I already had the fonts in my head.
Yeah.
We was talking. I already had this stuff out.
And it was this one, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Nah,
So
we gotta post. Y'all gotta
couple-
see this. Oh,
a couple of my favorite things on that tee is the neck lining. So it's got a thick neck liner, which is kind of like what I love about tees.
Yeah, this was when I put it on. I was like, yeah, this is different.
And it's gonna stay like that for a long time. And then the drape of it. So I'm like 5'10". I got a wide lower body and a skinny upper body. So 9 times out of 10, when I wear t-shirts, the bottom roll up. So I wanted something that was kind of like, it's oversized fit, but it's not too. It's oversized fit, but it's not too like skinny. Like you still got room in it. So that's how like we ended up finding that blank. As far as it being like garment dyed or acid wash looking, that was actually like his call.
Like retro tees.
Yeah. And then the colorway was his call as well, as far as it being blue, black, and white.
I'm a Duke fan too, and as much as I wear it, bro, you know I really like it too. If it's the Carolina blue.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the reverse side where it's got veil on the other side and the white, that's like our signature veil tee it's always embroidered. That's what people love about it, is that it was just embroidered. Not saying that embroidery is just better quality than print. It's just something I wanted to make like a staple tee. I saw Crenshaw tees and I saw like how they meant to people in Cali and all over the world. You see Crenshaw tees out here too. So that's kind of what I wanted to make the veil tee. I wanted it to like, if it's like a piece of home away from home for people. It's like a piece of home for people that's living here, and then it's a chance for us to put out other people on to a city that we come from and that the brand was created. So that's why I wanted to keep the typical embroidered veil on there, but because we had the pop-up shop in Fayetteville, it was like, nah, let's make this one for Fayetteville. Like this is gonna be that. And then everything from like the neck tags. I don't know if you read the details in our neck tags.
I can't remember it right now because it's so much in my mind right now.
Yeah, so it got like.
I know it got the sizing on there, although with the boom 910 26 wide.
And then underneath it's just straight out the bill. Yeah, and that's on all our products.
The detail, and I'm not gonna lie. When I bought this and I was looking at, when I wore it the other day to the thing, I was looking. I'm like, I have to get this on my stuff coming in the future. Like, this is.
And we made the label, we made the tag and all. Yeah, that's all. We created all of that.
So we used to do like tagless items, but then I don't like the look of tagless as far as like when you're looking at the product. Like I'm not a fan of tags and shirts, but I also don't really care for them. So if they're there, they're there. But I wanted it to be a subtle way for us to put like little nuggets into the piece and like just little things. Like if you pay attention to the details, you'll get stuff. That's how a lot of our stuff is actually.
Little Easter eggs type.
Yeah. So if you know, you know, in a sense.
I love doing this, and especially with my goal is to really hit everybody in the city first, and that's repping the city. I'm so proud of this shirt, bro. Y'all don't understand, like being somebody that grew up off the Merc. And like really just,
it's the first time
turning and seeing it. Like, all right, cool. Like I almost said bump it. I'm just about to take everything out. Like,
and if you came to the pop-up shop, you got it cheaper than what we're selling it online. Like that was our incentive. So if we ever have a pop-up shop in the future, we always sell the items cheaper at the pop-up shop than on the site.
Yeah. And you might see them first at the pop-up shop too.
Facts.
Really, because I wanted that burgundy one.
Oh yeah, that
I had you looking for that one. Yeah, I had you looking for that one.
But that was the first item we've ever had that I can't say it went viral, but it was like 400 some retweets on Twitter and a bunch of likes.
I just created the Twitter.
So I was coming into town for the pop up. Collyn had already had the tee, and then my homie Marquise was like, yo, y'all should like take photos at the Woodpeckers game because we're going to a baseball game that night. And I was like, yo, I don't know why I thought about that. I told Collyn. Collyn was like, yo, that's genius. So then Collyn just wears it to the game. We take a few photos, and like everyone was asking about it. It was so popping that bots was like,
Yeah,
someone like took our
somebody made it. Somebody made a bot made
and was replying to everyone that said
Wow.
if anyone replied to it and was like, yo, where can we find this, or yo, this is fire, like where's it for sale at?
That's
the bots
crazy.
was replying to everybody.
Yeah, the bot done got like 2 or 3 people.
I was on the bot's ass for like mad hours that night.
Hey,
Yeah, I was reporting everything, spamming everything. Like,
that's
yeah.
crazy. 'Cause that's what we was talking about earlier. That's where I first saw it. I was just like, yo, like that shit hard.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about earlier. Like you have to keep, even though bro, I done seen this 10 times. I done heard this clip 10 times. I'm posting it 10 times. It took me. I saw it September. I bought it in November.
Facts.
Like a lot of people don't know, you have to keep putting that traction in. Just going back to that earlier. But I have a question for you though. Because as busy as I am and been these past 3 months is why really a lot of episodes ain't been out. But I had to make sure I took time for this.
I've been checking.
How has, and Ash, I know you might have to come and speak on this too. How has this gym journey been? Because I've been trying to do it, and I heard it. You've been on your camera. I don't know if you got Collyn. Like, yo, you got to get in there. Like, how this journey been? Because I ain't got the time.
He be telling me I need to get, bro. He a gym rat. All right.
Boy, I'm trying, boy.
So fitness kind of always been like a part of my life. Like even down into, I used to be like a real overweight kid growing up. Like probably the most overweight out of my family, and so it kind of like made me want to get in shape when I was a kid. And so like I was into the gym, I would say huge in like high school and stuff. And then like the more serious baseball started getting for me, is like the more serious I was getting with it. And then when I was at Methodist, I was like also helping some athlete. My like work study was in the gym, and so I was helping like football players train and stuff. And it was just like a fun thing to do. I love like people enjoying their progress and people like just really being into like working on themselves. I think a lot of key points from fitness is like in everyday life. Yeah. I'm not saying like you have to be a fitness head, gym head, like, but I feel like going to the gym like 2-3 days out the week could really help someone's mental. So
that discipline too.
I look at it. I don't try to get swole or nothing. I literally go to the gym for mental health. So like it just helps like ease my mind. Almost all my ideas for anything brand related comes while I'm working out. Like that's when I'm in my notes normally. But for me right now, it's more just like helping Ash, because like she has actual goals that she wants to hit, so we just make sure we hit it like 5 days a week, and making sure that we're like increasing and stuff and tracking like all her weights for specific lifts and what she's doing weekly, and just getting into it. I just like the fact of like helping someone hit something. So
bro will hit me up, just a side note, when he said that's where all his ideas come from. Bro hit me up in the middle of running, out of breath. I got this idea, dog. I got this idea. I'm like, bro, first of all, I can't even understand what you're saying.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just like the gym just be doing that for me. Like
it's your peace time.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
like,
got one goal you doing. I got my music going. Like I'm have nothing else to think about. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Boom.
Now I tell Ash, it's like we're so busy like doing other things that this is like the 1 hour and a half, 2 hours that you get to you. Like the phone on do not disturb, like focus on like whatever it is that you want to be focused on. Our workouts are way better when we're not in the phone. So when we just focusing on ourselves, I feel like that's like the best part of it. But for us, it's kind of like a social moment, because like she's working a lot, I work a lot. Outside of work, I'm working a lot. So that's our like 1.5, 2 hours that we really get to spend together.
That's what I might need to do, because I'm always, since it's just me, I'm always like, oh, in my head, all right, let me go look at the stats, let me look at this, let me look at that, oh, let me do this. Like I'm constantly thinking about 5 different things while I'm doing something. So I might need to just throw my phone down and just
It's like a way for me to
focus.
tire out my mind a little bit, because I got so many ideas running all the time that's a way of like, all right, yo, chill. But if you're serious about it, we got a gym accountability chat, and there's about 5 people in there. So
They just dropped me.
we gotta kick Collyn out. You want checking in?
I might have to now, because I'm really trying to like. It's harder with school now, because like 6:30 to 10, I'm out. So when I get to the crib, it's like, yo, I'm gonna play this game a little bit, calm my mind down, and I'm going to bed.
Now that's the thing, is like we're not hard on people. Like you know, everyone got lives, everyone got things that they
But
doing.
nah,
But
like,
if
yo,
you
you
come
go?
to me and you like, this is my goal. I want to be in the gym this amount of days. I want to reach this weight. I want to. You told me that you want to do that, so I'm
Yeah.
just here to be on you about the things that you
Mhm.
told me that you wanted. I'm doing nothing but just holding you accountable for the things that you said, and so that's what I feel like is the most beneficial thing about our gym chat school. Like we go back and forth on different workout ideas. We share different meals, snacks, like
Exercises.
exercises. Yeah, but we worked out with it. I came here, did his workout. Like it's a hard workout. He came out there, did a workout with us, and
It was
it's
extremely hard workout.
yeah,
My legs hurt for like 2 or 3 days. I'm on the flight,
yeah.
back
Yeah,
cramped
that's
up.
bad time too. You can't stretch out how you want to, man.
I tell a lot of people be busy, and a lot of people feel like they don't have time. But I feel like if we was to sit down and go through your schedule, like you could find an hour and a half somewhere in there
Yeah.
for a couple days a week. Like even if you don't have no real goals and you just want to get in there for a little bit, like it's
Facts.
possible. I got a question for you.
Oh, you could.
All right.
I love them.
Do you feel like we rely on people too much?
As far as content creators, or just like
people
in general,
like when
like worldly, just base question. I
wouldn't say like necessarily rely, but maybe like we don't
I'm gonna say yes, but I want you to keep explaining.
like we don't we're not mindful that everyone's got their own.
And when you say rely, I know you saying. I'm assuming you saying more towards like
You don't got it. Go ahead.
the bad.
No, it don't necessarily have to
bad?
be bad, but it could be like when you always want someone to like check in on you or whatever, you know, like
Oh yeah.
so, yeah, because like sometimes I feel like I'll get in the mood of like if I might be going through something, instead of me being like dang man, no one's reaching out to me, it's like then like that mindful part comes in. It's like, yo, everyone's got their own life. Everyone's going through their own thing. Everyone has stuff going on, and it's like, what have I done that is like, hey, have I been there for others? So like checking myself too is like, that's just something I wonder is like, do we expect? I guess expect would be more than rely. Do we expect more from people without being mindful of like where they might be in their life?
Yeah.
A lot of people might feel like that about like reaching back to like if people get to a certain point and they're like, man, they got on and they didn't pull me up or let us like, you don't really necessarily know what that person's going through. Like they're not just up there, going crazy. I don't know. It's just a question. I was gonna tweet it the other day, but I figured I'd bring it here.
Oh no, I appreciate that. That's something I'm really sitting. I'm gonna really sit there and think about that because I think everybody's felt, especially how you said, like nobody like being there for me when I'm going through something. But sometimes people just got their own stuff going on, or not thinking about it, or dealing with their own troubles.
No, I do a little bit of reading. I'm not like the biggest reader, but I read a lot. And a book that a lot of people know of and that I constantly read is like The Four Agreements. It's always a good book to go back and read. And it just talks about like taking nothing personal and being more mindful and like just being, I don't know, it's like more, I like to be a more mellowed individual. I'm not like super aggressive and like someone, needs to cater to me all the time. But that's just a question. What you feel?
No, I definitely agree. I would say that I think it's human nature to expect somebody to be there for you. Sometimes you don't really understand that, or even take in consideration that people got their own stuff going on too. The whole time you waiting on somebody to say, are you doing all right? They going through their own thing, or they busy doing some other stuff. So I think a lot of times what we do is we think about ourselves first, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? As a human, before you can save somebody who's drowning, you got to make sure you can swim first.
Yeah.
So I think we do think of ourselves first, and there's nothing wrong with that. But nah, I definitely think we take into it for granted, like what somebody else is doing when they got their own path going on.
I want to tie that into like the thing right now is like, I mean, it's an important thing, but it's like the check on your strong friends.
Yeah,
it's like we need to check on our strong friends and check on ourselves too. Like you have to make sure you good too, because your strong friends ain't always gonna be there. Like they have other things that be mindful of the things that they got going on. So I just feel like it's important to like try to find yourself a lot and like be more settled with like your thought processes and just being kind and mindful. That's all. But.
How do y'all? Before we started recording, we was listening to Donda too. I had to. I don't know how people feel about he was selling it for $200. I got the folder. Is what it is. But everything going on with Kanye right now, I've really been sitting back the past couple of days, and it's really good art. Like the music, Donda 1 and 2 is really good, but we both know like he's going through it in his personal life right now. Like, do y'all feel sometimes certain pressures like elevate you? I mean, maybe not in y'all field, but like how you was talking about earlier, like, yo, I'm using rent money to fund this and do that. Do you feel like, really just certain pressures like elevate you personally? Like, how do you deal with those, if you want to speak on it?
I believe pressure make diamonds.
Yeah.
I've done some of my best things with my back against the wall. I mean, at one time I was probably working like 3 or 4 jobs, and it all led into like graphic design. Like at the end of the day, it was all for graphic design, and I'm like succeeding at what I'm doing now. That everything, like, if you're not putting yourself into an uncomfort zone, which would lead to just being like uncomfortable or trying to figure out which way, you never know like how good you really are. So it's like a wake up call. So pressure, to me, pressure is the best thing that can happen to a person. I mean, to a certain amount.
Yeah.
Like referring back to Kanye, I mean, I felt like he went through a lot of things, even watching the doc. So
I still ain't finished yet,
bro. Like,
don't tell me too much.
I mean, hey,
spoil it.
we see why Kanye crazy. Well, he do some of his crazy things, and I mean, they say all geniuses is crazy. They say Einstein was crazy. Man, look where we at today with electricity. Yeah. So I think that pressure does get to a point where it makes you, but it can break you. You just gotta understand how to like.
I think dealing with it is important, and just from a personal standpoint, like I meditate every day. Like meditation is like, it's not something I did my whole life. It's something I incorporated like a year or 2 ago. I fell out of it for a little bit, but now I'm back on it like every day, and I feel like that helps like keep things together. And like the pressure, like elevating you, I feel like yes, like the brand was created while I was working at a home improvement store, hotel off of Owen, and the Fayetteville Observer at the same time. And the Fayetteville Observer wasn't even like a cool job. I was putting ads in newspapers. Oh yeah. So it's like at that point, like that's when I knew like it's get it time. And I feel like that's what that pressure does to you. It makes you want to do bigger and better. It makes you want to take things to the next level. It proves to yourself like how worthy you are of the things that you want. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna say I agree with everything he does, but I feel like I understand why it's happening. And so, yeah. I mean, I love the Donda album in itself. I haven't heard the second one yet.
I'll send you the file.
Yeah,
I got you. I'll send you Yandy.
He's not sending that to my personal email. Yeah.
I send it to you.
Yeah, don't send that to the business.
No. All right, before we get to put me on a minute, because as we speaking about sports, what's your teams? Real quick, I just need to know.
You go first.
I mean, basketball. I'm a Nets fan.
OG, or you just following KD?
KD.
I respect it.
Yeah, KD is my favorite player. Always been my favorite player. OKC was my favorite team. It's just like, bro, different. He first
best scorer all time.
Facts. And I mean, that's just why I'm rocking.
For me, my favorite sport's baseball. So I grew up a Mets fan, but but every place I live never had a baseball team. Like, there's no team in Virginia. There's no baseball team in Carolina. I mean, you got AAA and stuff, but that's not the major leagues. Japan, they got their own league and all that. So it's like Cali was the first time that I ever felt like this is, like, I can go to these games. I can be a part of the fan base. Like, I enjoy it in person. I was a Mets fan because my dad was a Mets fan. So I did bandwagon a couple years back.
Oh no, it's respectable. Trust me.
As soon as I moved there, I was like, I really just love the atmosphere. But I'm a Rams fan, and I was when I first moved to the States.
I remember you. Yep.
Yeah, when I first moved to the States from Japan, the Super Bowl happened to be going on at the time, and the Rams were there. I remember it's Kurt Warner, and I believe they're playing the Titans, and that's whenever I was like, I'm a Rams fan. And so I jumped on that bandwagon when I was like, what is that for? It's like 10 years old. Yeah. And so before they even moved back out to LA, when they were in St. Louis, I was a fan. So it was dope because the same year that I moved, they made the announcement like a month later that they're moving back to LA. So that was pretty cool. As far as basketball, I like watching basketball. I used to like watching the Clippers. I know if you like Laker fan, that's the worst thing to hear. But I used to like watching the Clippers when it was Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
City, okay, I respect it.
But other than that, I'm not like a diehard for any fan. I'm not like crazy in the sports to where I'm like cussing people out and getting in fights. I'm just like a cordial. Like, I like my teams. That's it.
I respect it because I was a Bron fan growing up. You know, you see Bron everywhere. I'm a kid, and then it was like, all right, I got to be my own man. And then it was Warriors versus Celtics. Warriors versus Clippers, Game 7. And I was just like, yo, Warriors is going crazy. They end up losing. Then obviously the next year they won a chip. You know, Curry. Facts. I was Curry the year before. So now I'm a Warriors fan. They be like, win. And I break it down to them like, you're not a Warriors fan. You won't we believe and all that. Yeah. But then it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, oh, like, after he won the chip, obviously, and everything, I'm just getting into, become my own person.
Facts.
Especially with everything going on now. Thank God he back, but we ain't got no wide receiver.
Hey,
so.
You become a fan when you become a fan.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. Like, at some point in someone's life, they're either getting it from their family or you bandwagoning onto something. Yeah. So I'm just having a bandwagon at the.
So 10 years 20s. From now, I'm gonna ask about Aaron Rodgers and Curry.
Oh, we gonna be trash. Okay. I wanted to draft LaMelo. Because Curry 34 right now. I'm like, bro, he might got 3 years left.
But shoot, man.
What do you think about the NBA and like a lot of players are still playing well into their like older ages, like into their high 30s, 40s, and they still like killing it.
It's different. But I think a lot of science and everything's going on. Yeah, I like it. Like Curry, I mean, shoot, like you said, shoot. He could play till he's 40.
Yeah, and the style he play. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get it off no matter.
Like Ray Allen was hooping for a long time.
Like Melo's still doing good, even though they try to write him off. Like I think it's gonna be more around. Like Kyrie might play until he older. Like Harden gonna play. I think it's gonna be more relevant, but it's harder to stay in. So we got this little segment called "Put Me on a Minute." Like I was telling y'all before, nobody really stayed under a minute. If you do, congratulations. But whenever you're ready, you could go ahead and go crazy.
So I figured, obviously, I've watched the podcast for a while now. Instead of like us putting people onto the brand because they already gonna kind of know about us from the last hour we spoke. Yeah. I figured we use the time to basically say thank you to like our top 20 customers since we've existed, while at the same time like just giving some shout outs to people that play important roles as well. So just going through the customer base, shout out to everyone on this list. Shout out to everyone that's ever purchased anything from Wise Mind or even shared us. You don't necessarily have to purchase, but maybe you support us or you share our brand with other people. But on the list, I got Alex Vasquez, DeAndre Jones, Brandon Noel, Marquise Kearse, Jawan Mills, Michelle, my mother, Brendan Williams, Destiny Wallace, Chris Vinson, Eolani Brinson, Mark Mayer, Alfonso Hooks, a.k.a. Zilla, my sister Amy, Carlos Kirkado, that's my uncle. Reginald Murray, Amber Dobbins, Christian Kirkado, my little brother. Janine, Ashley's mother. Christian Lopez, my dad Jose, and Maria T. And also just a special shout out to my siblings, Grant, Melissa, Amy, Christian, and Amanda, and Donovan. Shout out to Collyn and his family. I know his dad supports, and his mother's been like a huge supporter of ours on and off the socials. Shout out to Luis and everyone over with his team that helps us with manufacturing. Shout out to Ashley, my wife, for like being the glue to everything, and my barber Ron for giving me the cut for the
Shout
day.
out to Barber. Gots to.
And yeah, everyone else that ever showed love or supported us. So
That's fire, man. It was over a minute, but
Facts.
Collyn, your turn.
So just some game, and it's gonna be just like really thinking about our success, and just some game. Really just appreciate the people that you got around you. You know what I'm saying? My biggest inspiration is the people around me. I never really looked up to anybody other than like my friends that I got, and then the people I work with, my mom and dad. They're my biggest inspirations. So just appreciate the people that that you got around you. Take pieces from them, you know what I'm saying, and create your own. Because you don't always gotta look up to somebody that's top tier, when really the people around you is the people that's the real heroes.
facts.
So on that note, that's some game for you, bro.
That's hard, man.
Was he in under a minute? Yeah.
Facts. That was like
That
45
might have been
Yeah.
58. Might have been 58. I don't think I got enough. So we gonna end on that. This was I love this episode. I ain't gonna lie to
Appreciate you,
you.
bro.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all coming through.
You already know.
Had y'all on my list for a very long time. If y'all knew it or not, it happened organically. And for sure, whenever y'all want to come and kick it, not even on just whatever, like.
Facts, bro.
Can't wait to see your successes. Like, definitely believe heavily in the platform. Like, I really think you could take this thing far, like, with the right tools and stuff. So, I'd say keep at it. And, yeah, we're going to be back for sure.
So, it's been another
And
episode.
holla at us if you need anything.
Facts.
I need my own tea. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I should have
I'm
said
not
that.
gonna cap to you. I need my own tea. It could be a put me on game tea. It could be a Chesterr.
It's all right. We already got put me on Wisemon in the vault. So,
Yes,
Been
sir.
another episode of Put Me On Game podcast. We out.